interpreting rates, section 8.1, example 1. Natasha can buy a 12-kilogram turkey from her local butcher for $42.89. The local market has turkeys advertised in its weekly flyer for $1.49 per pound. There are about 2.2 pounds in 1 kilogram, which store has the lowest price. So we need to decide whether we're giving our question to pounds or to kilograms, because in order to compare rates, you should be using the same units, so pounds or kilograms. So if I was looking at this $42.89, and that is for 12 kilograms, if I divide it by 12, that gives me the unit rate. It gets me down to how much I pay per kilogram, per individual kilogram. So if I look, 42.89 divided by 12, that gets you to $3.57 per kilogram. So that would be the butcher's price. And the market is $1.49 per pound. So we need, since this is in kilograms, we should be either switching this to pounds or switching this one to kilograms. So let's just get our answers in kilograms. So if this is $1.49 per pound, so you could say per 1 pound, that means there's 2.2 pounds in 1 kilogram. So this is times 2.2, and if we times this by 2.2, we would be getting our answer to kilograms. So 1.49 times 2.2, that gets us to 3.28 per 2.2 pounds. And 2.2 pounds is kilograms. So we have found out that this one is 3.28 per kilogram. So looking at this, the market is the better deal because it is the cheaper price per kilogram. Moving to example 2, it says, describe a scenario that could be represented by this graph. So if we're looking at this graph, this is time in minutes, and we're talking about distance in kilometers. So if we want, it says compare the rates shown and discuss why the rates may have changed. So we should probably find the slope of the line, and if we remember to our previous chapters, we found the slope of the line by using the 2-point formula. y2 subtract y1 over x2 subtract x1 will give us the slope of the line. So at this point, our y is 2, so this point is 30 over 2 up. This point is 0 and 0. This point looks like it's 40 and 2 up. This point being 60, 5. And our last point being 65 and 0. Okay, so if we wanted to find the slope of each section, this would be our x1, y1, and our x2, y2. So let's put it in order since this is the first point. We will change these to x1, y1, x2, y2. So they will be organized as our 2 over 30, which means we're going 2/30 of a kilometer per minute. Because this is in kilometers and this is in minutes. And usually we don't talk kilometers per minute. Usually we're talking kilometers per hour. So how many minutes is in an hour? There's 60. So 60 minutes will change this to an hour. And if we times by 60 here, we end up with 4 kilometers per hour. So that means at whatever situation this was, this person was traveling at 4 kilometers per hour. Okay, we can do that with each of the sections. So we can do it for this section and this section here. And what we're trying to do is describe a scenario. So, looking at this, we could describe a scenario of a person that's traveling on a trip, and each line segment represents a different part of the trip. So the first segment could be the person walking, leaving their home, because they're walking at a rate of 4 kilometers per hour. Okay? This section, the second section right here, they don't travel any farther. Their distance doesn't change, but their time changes. So they obviously get to their destination, and they stop there for approximately 10 minutes. Then the next section is they have an increased slope. So if we found the slope of that section, we would use the same formula, and we would put our points in the 2-point formula again. So this could be our x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 being 5, subtract our y1, which is 2, our x2, which is 60, subtract our x1, which is 40. We then get 3, 5 subtract 2 is 3, and 60 subtract 40 is 20. So this person's traveling at 3/20th of a kilometer per minute. So again, if we change this to hours by timing by 60, we change this by timing by 60, we end up with 9 kilometers per hour. So this person is traveling at a faster rate this time. So maybe they run or jog to their friend's house in this section, and then this one is faster yet. And so maybe at their friend's house, their dad or friend's dad gives them a Example 3, final example for 8.1. The gas tank of Mario's new car has a capacity of 55 liters. The owner's manual claims that the fuel efficiency of Mario's car is 7.6 liters per 100 kilometers. On the highway, before Mario's first big highway trip, he set the trip meter to 0 kilometers, so he could keep track of the total distance he drove. He started with the gas tank full. Each time he stopped to fill up, he recorded the amount or the distance he had traveled and the amount of gas he purchased. On which leg of Mario's trip was his fuel efficiency the best? So, on fill up 1, he traveled 645 kilometers and used 48 liters of gas. So if we take 48 and we divide it by the 645 kilometers he traveled, that means he got 0.074 liters per kilometer. Okay, we found the unit rate for this part. It was 0.074 liters per 1 kilometer he traveled. That's how many liters he used per 1 kilometer. Okay, so then the total distance driven for the next totals 1,000 1,037. But keep in mind, he already did 640 of 5 of those in the first fill up. So if we go 1,037, subtract 645, that part of the trip will total 392. So on the second leg of the trip, he used 32.1 liters for 392 kilometers. So if we go 32.1 divided by 392, we get 0.081 liters per kilometer. So if we look, the fuel efficiency in the first leg of the trip was better and lower than the second leg of the trip.